this is Olympia and welcome to the part 2 of this video that I did like a month ago. Basically it's just I'm aromantic and asexual, so I do not feel attracted to anybody. So I was going through romance tropes in books and media with my best friend who is straight, so he does feel attraction to people and he is specifically attracted to women. So I was going through them with him and just seeing how we differed in our preferences to romance media. Like, I don't mind reading romance books. I quite like it. It's quite interesting. It's quite sweet. But some of these tropes just really get on my nerves. So that's basically what we're talking about. Part 1 I will put in the top corner in the iCards. So you can go click that one if you want to see the first part and enjoy the second part.
What's the next trope then?
Okay, Amnesia. Where one or both lose their memories.
No,
I'm with you in that one. Like, it's hard enough for me to believe it the first time, let alone the second time.
I mean, it can be cute, but it does feel a bit like cheap.
Yeah, because like one already knows that the other's in love with them, or like I suppose like the previous version was in love with them. Also, can be really sad. Like, you know, your partner lost their memories and they don't even remember you. How devastating is that? Like, imagine that happened to you in real life. They don't remember you at all. They don't remember that you're married or like have kids together or anything, or like whatever stage of relationship you're in. They don't remember any of the dates you went on when you were like first going out. They don't remember the cute moments that you've had. They don't remember any of the inside jokes. And I don't know, this seems a bit sad.
That does sound quite heartbreaking, yeah.
Yeah, I'm it's a bit of like a 0 out of 10 for me.
3.
A 3, okay. I never read anything with amnesia in it. If I pick up a book and it says like, oh, this person lost her memories, and it's like, nah. Okay. The auction trope, where a single person is auctioned off in a charity auction as a joke, and then they fall in love.
I've never heard of this trope before.
Have you not?
No.
Okay. So I've heard of it, and I knew about it before I was doing research for this video, but I've never read it because it's never appealed to me, because I don't like the idea of selling, like, usually the person that's being sold is usually coerced into it by their friends, by like, it's a good cause and what's the worst that can happen. So they get coerced into it, right? And then usually, because like in the blurbs it always says like their friends convinced them to, and as soon as it says that, it's like no. And usually there's like the hottest bachelor or the hottest bachelorette, and you've lost me at hot because I don't really understand what that means in terms of people. And then also I don't like the idea of not being able to choose who you go out with, because if you're in an auction, you have to like, I think the auction is like you spend a day with the person, not one. I think, I don't actually know how it works, or they get bragging rights, so I don't really know. But like, I just don't like the idea of not being able to choose who you go out with, and losing that sense of control if you're like the person being auctioned. I also just think it's really weird, and I don't think people should do that, you know?
Definitely not.
Okay, moving on from that one. That one's a solid 0 out of 10. I really like coming out tropes in stories because it's relatable to me. I've had to come out so many times. Because no one believes anybody when they say they're AroAce, so this is my life now. Yeah, I like it. It's cute, usually. It can be paired with drama if there's like people that don't like it. It can be paired with drama. Also, it can be paired with found family, which I really like. Like, found family is my jam. It's like, if only one bird is like, oh, my jam, then like, this is the bread, you know?
I thought you were going to say peanut butter.
I don't like peanut butter, so, you know, it's the bread.
Oh, okay. It's good trope, yeah. And also, you know, representation, very good.
I feel like it's something that will appeal more to LGBTQ people than straight people, because LGBTQ people tend to read things. It's relatable, and it tends to bolster your confidence if you're trying to come out to someone. I found.
Yeah.
Like when I was trying to come out to other people more, I read a lot of coming out books and stories, and it really helped me find the words I wanted to say and how I wanted to phrase it. So I think it's a good way of doing that as well, like, you know, working through feelings and all that.
Yeah, it's a good trope. I personally cannot relate to it, but
yeah,
it is...
I'm gonna say it's like a 9 out of 10.
I'd say 7 out of 10. I personally cannot relate, but it is important, and I'm glad that it gives others something to relate to.
Yeah. First love. Do you have any feelings on first loves?
No.
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 They're just very neutral for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the same thing. It's like, I wouldn't go out my way to find a first love book.
Yeah.
Because I just don't really care. I don't get it. I'm never going to have a first love, and I'm okay with that, honestly. And I don't need a book telling me that I'm missing out, or like, usually with first love things, especially if it happens late in the like character's life, then they tend to go on about how like the character really wishes they weren't, you know, broken in some way, or they feel they're like broken, and it just comes across as a bit aphobic. I think that's a danger with first love stories.
Also, like, rarely anyone... people do sometimes have one relationship through their entire life that's perfect and works with them, but realistically, not a lot of people get it right on their first time.
Yeah, like, statistically, first loves don't last. So I guess you can't... Yeah. I guess it hurts more to get involved in, like, get emotionally invested into first love stories, because you just know they're not going to last.
Yeah.
Next trope. We're out-trope that one. I would say 0 out of 10. Do you want to give it a rating out of 10? By do you want to, I mean give it a rating out of 10.
It doesn't deserve a rating.
It doesn't deserve a rating, okay. Hanahaki. Do you know what that one is?
No.
It's more of like an anime one where if the person that you have feelings for doesn't requite them, then you basically get flowers growing inside you until they kill you. Sorry, unalive.
Pardon?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yes. If someone else does not return your feelings that they have no control over, then you die.
That sounds very emotional blackmail-y.
That's what I don't like about it. It's like, some people really like it, and the ones that I can kind of understand are like ones that rely on platonic ones, where like if your family doesn't love you enough, then that happens, right? That's the only kind of ones that I can understand. But like the love ones just seem so, like the romantic love ones where if someone doesn't love you back, then it just seems really like emotionally manipulative. You know, if you don't love me back, then I'm going to die.
I mean, it sounds very emotionally manipulative, yes, but also they can't control that.
Exactly.
You just sort of like die.
Yeah. I don't like it. It's like a minus 100 out of 10. Hurt comfort in the romantic sense. I really like hurt comfort. I think it's a great way for characters to be vulnerable with each other, and it's again those small intimacies that make romances more authentic to me, because I struggle to understand how anybody can like anybody straight off the bat, and so this makes it more believable to me. So I really like hurt comfort, and also it's just really sweet to see the characters interacting with each other softly, because sometimes it's a very intense way they interact with each other, and sometimes it's nice just to see them interact softly. Do you have any particular thoughts or feelings on hurt comfort?
I've never heard of it before.
It's like where one of them gets hurt and the other one like bandages them up, or it can be emotional stuff as well, like where one of them fails at something and the other romantic interest comforts them.
Oh no, I'm all for that. sweet. Yeah, no.
It's like 100 out of 10 trope for me. It's amazing. You can
Yeah.
hit so many different situations. It doesn't have to be romantic. In this sense, it is, because obviously we're ranking romantic tropes. But even in a romantic sense, it makes romances feel more genuine to me as a person that never understands romantic anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Best friend's sibling or sibling's best friend. It's like if you went out with your brother's friend, or if you go out with your best friend's sibling. It would be like if you went out with my sister, or if I went out with your brother, kind of thing.
I hate
even thinking about that, but that was
that
the
example.
That was a bad example. I hate even thinking
Yes.
about that. But you got the message, so it's fine.
Yeah. It's an interesting trope. It can definitely lead to drama and
Yeah.
feelings.
What pulls me down on this one is that I don't get why there would be drama. Okay, if it's your best friend's sibling, I can understand that one. That one's weird, right? But if it's like your sibling's best friend... Wait, no, that can also be weird. I just don't get why people care about other people's romantic relationships enough to, like, try and sabotage them, if that's the plot of the book or story.
I mean, sabotage I won't agree with,
No.
but, like, just intrigue about it, like, exploring the weirdness and the conflicted feelings.
I don't
But
get why there would be conflicted feelings, because you can't... Apparently you can't help who you're attracted to.
It's still weird, though, like...
Yeah, it feels
if you-
weird. But
Yeah.
I guess I just don't get it enough, or just... I guess it's just one of those trips that I'm not that interested in, and it's one that I can understand, but I'm just not that interested in at all.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'd care if one of my friends dated my sister. It might be weird, and I might have to ban some certain topics, but I don't think I'd care.
4 out of 10.
I would say 2 out of 10. It can be an interesting as like a very minor side plot. You know, like the kissing booth?
Yeah, I've
That
heard
was the entire
of them.
plot of the kissing booth. I think this is where I'm getting my bias from.
Oh.
I never watched the kissing booth. I watched reviews on the kissing booth. I
I've
don't watch romance
not
movies.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of stems on from Friends to Lovers, I think. And
Yeah.
it's not something that I'm very interested in. I don't really care. 1 out of 10.
Sweet. It's wholesome. 2 out of 10.
Okay, right, next one. Friends with benefits. 0 out of 10. Don't understand at all. Not going into that one, don't need to.
5 out of 10, leave it at that.
Drunken Confession.
6 out of 10, just throwing out a number. Can be cool, I guess, but
I
I've
think
never
what I
seen
like
it done
about Drunken
before.
Confession is that if they're really like people that are emotional brick walls, it can be a great way for the writers to put them in an organic situation where they would admit their feelings to each other.
That's true.
As long as they both remember like when they wake up from like with hangovers or whatever. But I think there's nothing worse than them both admitting their feelings to each other and only one remembers.
That could be kind of cool to like explore, though.
It's frustrating though. It's like, why would you want to read that? You just get frustrated because one knows and the other doesn't. I'm doing it right now. I'm watching like Castle, and it didn't do a drunken confession, but the female lead got shot in the chest, and as she was like actively dying, he went like, "I love you," right? And she pretended she doesn't remember what happens to her, but then she accidentally in an interview with a suspect reveals like, oh, I remember everything, and she didn't know that he was behind the glass at the time, so he heard it and just thought it was like a soft rejection. But like, I just don't get why you just wouldn't communicate.
That situation I don't like, but it could be.
Oh, believe me, that's been going on for a whole season.
Gee, wow, okay.
Bright side, it's the final season before they get together, so. And then we get the trouble with the fact they just break them up anyway. It's like, can't just stay together.
Apparently not. What's the next trope?
Okay, right. Oh god, long distance.
No.
2 out of 10 depending on how it's written.
2 out of 10.
It can be good as like a side plot, but I think if it's the main story of the movie or like book, I think it's kind of boring.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, it's just a lot of video calls. And like, how many video calls can you really describe before they start getting boring to read? Okay. And they were roommates. That's the next one. I like the roommates one because you live with someone for a long time, you get to know them a lot, and it makes sense. So, you know.
At least the transition into like moving together wouldn't be so hard because, spoiler alert, you already live together.
Also, if you live together, you tend to see your roommate in vulnerable moments, which makes it sweeter when they get together, I think.
Yeah, it could be a rewarding trope.
Yeah, it's a very rewarding trope.
Worth reads.
It's much more used with LGBTQ stories, I think. You know, the classic "and they were roommates" meme for lesbians.
Yeah.
Which I really like because I think it's really sweet. I read Loveless and I genuinely thought they were going to do "and they were roommates," so you know, they didn't. No, Georgia was AroAce like me, so.
Oh, sweet.
They did a different kind of. They did a best friend with best friend one, so you know that's an awkward one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Drunken Marriage, where they get married when they're drunk and they wake up in the morning and they've got married. Usually happens in Vegas.
Yeah, I was about to say Vegas.
Yeah. I think it's interesting depending on how it's done. Two strangers aren't very interesting because like they don't know each other. But I think it's it's much more fun if they've known each other, if they have secret feelings for each other, and then they suddenly just woke up and they're like, shoot, we got married. How are we going to tell everybody?
The second situation sounds a lot more interesting to read or watch.
Yeah, if it's like total strangers, no. If it's like people that have been like friends for ages or they've got feelings for each other that they haven't quite confessed to each other, it can be an interesting like, what's it when it starts the plot, like a kickstart to the plot, or like I especially like it when they're like, we're married to each other and this wasn't quite what we had planned, but you know what, we're rolling with it. That's my favourite kind of one with going with it. And then they have to do the walk of shame with all their friends. That's the best part of it.
6 out of 10. Can be done well, but...
Did you have anything else to add? I did just kind of interrupt you, sorry.
No. Everything's been said.
Unrequited Love.
Flowers out of 10.
Flowers?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a reference to one of the earlier tropes.
Oh, Hanahaki. Okay. Oh, okay. God, that took me so long. So you don't like it?
I mean, no.
I think if they're setting it up to be like a romance and then it's unrequited, it's so dissatisfying that it can make me put down the whole book or series, show, movie, whatever, even if it's like in the first chapter. I think the thing is that in real life I'm always on the other side of this, where like people come up to me and ask me out and then I just have to tell them no. It hasn't happened very often, but when it does, it's a bit awkward. So I guess I relate to the feeling of awkwardness on the other person's side that has to reject them, but also
I mean,
sorry. Yeah, you go first.
What's the point of this trope?
Usually it happens in fan fiction, but also can happen in books and movies as well. Usually it's to make like the main character better.
How?
No idea, don't ask me, because I have no idea. I think it's heartbreaking, because especially if you're attached to a character that's getting their heart broken, it can feel like your heart's getting broken, and I don't like it. It's just kind of a bit sad to read, and I'm not really into reading sad things. Yes.
Yes, let's purposely make myself sad.
I think 1 out of 10 because sometimes unrequited love comes before requited love. Like, let's just say they're like demi-romantic, then it would make sense for it to be unrequited at first. That's the only time I can probably get behind it. Is like if it requires a connection before they feel anything.
You're right. Yeah, no, that sounds okay.
So like 1 out of 10.
Out of 10.
I feel like people that really like to read, like have pain in their lives, read Unrequited Love.
Yes.
I can get me behind a slow burn. It depends on how slow it is.
Yeah. But also how... It depends on how, like, the speed, but also when they give... Because obviously during the course of the slow burn, they'll give rewarding moments or continuing to go along with the burn, like cute romantic moments, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So it depends on the speed of the burn, but also how many little snippets of romance or cuteness
I
there
definitely
is.
get that. Like, as someone that doesn't feel romantic or sexual attraction, it can be hard to understand why people would want to be in relationships, and slow burns definitely help me understand that with characters.
Yeah.
So I tend to find them more appealing than, say, a show that just instantly places you in with characters in relationships. High Schools, for example.
But also, when the burn is complete, that sounds weird, but
when the candle's burnt out.
It sounds it feels very rewarding.
Yeah, like both the TV shows that I watch, Castle and Bones, they have a slow burn and they're very rewarding once you get to the end of the slow burn bit.
Yeah.
Because you've watched like 4 seasons of these people struggling to admit to each other that they actually like each other. And by the time you get there, they're both people that can be in healthy relationships. I think that's also the good thing is like you can watch the characters grow with the other characters. Like, I especially appreciate slow burns because you get to see them and like be vulnerable with each other and trust each other and build a connection with each other before they have a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like is the build up where they're like vulnerable. I think I just like it when characters are vulnerable. You know, there seems to be a pattern here. Oh, what 7 out of 10? I would say 9 out of 10.
All right.
I have so much more footage on this video, so I wanted to split it up in 3 parts, and I promise I'll probably get it done in 3 parts, because I have so many, we went through so many tropes and we had a good discussion about each of them, so I'm cutting out a lot of footage as it is, and I want to make sure that each trope gets enough attention. Next week is Christmas, and I know what I want to do for that video, don't worry. And the week after that is New Year, and I have a plan for that video. So I'm definitely doing videos up until Christmas, so there you go. Also, this video is a bit late because my editing software decided to crash, and I was done with it yesterday, so this is Monday now. Yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram, Olympia.Peacechild, follow my Twitch, OlympiaPeacechild, follow Sibyl's Instagram, Sibyl the Walking Cat, and I shall see you in next week's video on Christmas. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and bye!